We've done it as a family a couple times. Usually I go by myself. My sister, she gets a little, I think she gets a little uncomfortable by it.
Is she shy?
I think it's a little shy.
Because I wouldn't think that. I wouldn't think that Kelly was shy.
Yeah.
But you think she just turns it on for the cameras?
I think so. Yeah, I think she's a homebody, and I think just it's a lot of interact. As you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of being on and like a lot of smiles, a lot of shaking hands.
Yeah.
And I think she's a little more reserved than that. My dad loves it. Like he's like gets so stoked every time.
He really loves it.
He does. Yeah.
You think somebody as big, with his stature, Ozzy Osbourne, we're talking about, but you think that he would be over it at this point?
It's funny because his health hasn't been great lately, so he hasn't been able to do gigs, and so
What's wrong with him?
He's got Parkinson's, and then he took a fall about 6 years ago and messed his neck up, so he's got like nerve damage, but he's doing all right, and but he can't tour, and so he's so used to his whole life interacting with fans, and now that he hasn't in a while, like it taps him back into that, and so I think he enjoys the, just interacting with his people.
Does he go out in public very much?
Not really.
No, he's kind of a homebody.
Yeah, occasional dinner, he'll go out or, but yeah, he's pretty much a homebody.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I always wonder, it's like you've been asked this a million times, but like, I think of my childhood and how normal but abnormal it was and how dysfunctional it was. But growing up with a superstar as a dad, did you see the effects of it just early on? Just like everybody knew you as, oh, that's Ozzy's son, and
yeah, there was a bit of that for sure.
Did it bother you?
No, it depends. It bothered me in the sense that I could never really get away with anything. Like if I would go out and like get into trouble, and I started going to like clubs in Hollywood at 13, 14. I'd go see bands, whatever. And if I would get into any trouble, they would just call my mom immediately because they knew who I was and they knew my parents. My dad's first gig in LA was at the Whiskey. So like the owners of the Whiskey knew my family, and the Roxy and, Troubadour, all that. So I would get frustrated at that. And then when we did the show, it was like, it just put that on, steroids, and